astrology right now is crazy. We're at the midway point in between eclipses. We're having a Mercury retrograde. It's a lot, but we're trucking through. And what we're still gonna do is talk about synastry on my channel. Moving along through the sun overlays, we're gonna talk about sun in the first house today. With sun in the first house overlay, the house person looks for approval or fishes for compliments a lot from the sun person. And this is one where it's gonna depend on the sign, because it can be in a very direct way, fishing for compliments, like if it's Leo we're talking about, or it can be a little bit more indirect, like Cancer. But what's happening in this dynamic is the house person recognizes that the way that they go through life in authenticity and purpose, it's the same as the sun person's nature. The house person in this dynamic does see the sun person as a master, and once they form a kind of relationship, whether it starts off as a friendship initially or starts off as a romantic connection initially, once they get that link, the house person now looks to the sun person to co-sign their actions, boost them up, react in awe and wonder, essentially make them feel good about themselves and also the direction that they're taking in life. They want to get that validation, and yeah, who better to get that ego boost from than the sun person? Now the sun person, also depending on the sign here, they may either see this reaction from the house person and they could take pride in it, in knowing that they're like the wind beneath the house person's wings, the wind beneath their sails. Or they may start to become jealous when they realize that the house person is more noticed or gets more notice, gets more recognition than them in public settings. So it's the first house. This is where Aries is born, right? So there is a lot of competition here. And that competition is to see who gets more noticed. Or it's like, which one of us is more of an individual? Which one of us is more unique, more of a personality? I'd say for the most part, it's very friendly. It's a way to push each other out of your comfort zones. But really, depending on the rest of the chart, it could end in like mortal enemies status. I feel like in the very beginning of you guys' relationship, you tend to copy each other's personality almost. You're picking up a lot of the same lingo that the other has. It's like you're trying to immerse yourself in how they experience life in order to kind of like compare it to you, see what you can improve on, see who's doing it better. That dynamic might not be as obvious, but it's there. The house person tends to be really flashy in this dynamic, and you know, that's what the sun person saw and noticed in them in the first place anyway. So that's part of the attraction. And it's not only the sun person who sees it, you know, it's literally everyone who sees this dynamic with the house person. So that also is part of what may fuel jealousy with the sun person, seeing that they almost have to like share the house person with the rest of the world. The sun person may not feel as special because the house person treats them like they treat everyone else. And the sun person fights for that soul attention, you know. Definitely on both ends, they're fiending for just all eyes on them. This is one where this might go more for friendships with this overlay, but it does go for romantic relationships as well. But like, you guys do have the same taste in people, so in a sense it's like good if you want to add like a third. You guys can like agree on who would be the best fit. But yet again, this is something else that can fuel competition and butting heads if it's a friendship and you guys are always liking the same guy. You know, it can get tricky. You gotta be careful of like letting those friendly competitions get too far, because then if it's, especially if it's over a third person and you're trying to like compete against your friend to impress that person, you know, just don't go overboard. Don't let it get too far. The bond between you guys is what's important, first and foremost. Another fun thing with this overlay is that you guys tend to look alike. People may say like your brother and sister, twins, or it's that you have the same mannerisms. You know, when you're hanging out with people, you're saying things at the same time, in the same tone, saying things at the same pace. And yeah, that's why I'm like, you guys are copying each other's personality. Before you know it, you won't even know which one of the sayings originated with who first. It's just like you guys are melding the same brain together, and eventually you just become one big home brain. But yeah, mostly a fun one. That's all I really have for Sun in the first. Next up, Sun in the second, and then Sun in the third. But yeah, just continue to take it slow as we move through this eclipse portal, as we move through this retrograde Taurus season. Pay attention to your body, get the rest that you need, and then come back here later for the rest of the synastry tea. Okay?